We see this look from time to time from the Knights. Third down, St. Clair deep drop back. He's going deep down the field. The pass is caught. Wide open 40, 30. It's Buck Studwell. 15, 10, 5 touchdown. New York. They're going to hand it off to H. Shaw. He got the first down. A championship is coming to New York.
23 seconds, 22 seconds. What are they going to do here? 4 yards from the end zone. Dunhill going to throw again. Dunhill out to Hollywood. BDG Hollywood touchdown! Oh my. The Atlanta Swarm. How about it? Your champions, Georgia. 27-10 over Sioux Falls. Your Atlanta Swarm are title winners.
To the right, that's Carr. 2 down from the end. Handoff, Sandlin. Boy, he almost got hit the backfield, and Sandlin breaks it through for a touchdown for Seattle. What a run from Sandlin. He was dead to rights in the backfield and made something out of nothing.
They're going to go 5 wide for Wigmore. Wigmore steps up, hit as he threw. Pass is intercepted at the 50 with room to return. It's Albert Begin again. 35-30. Albert Begin. 20, 10. Touchdown, Lone Star. Ivory Irvin not fast enough this time, and the Glory right back in it.
Second and 10 from the 38. Marconi back to pass against another blitz. Marconi's going to avoid a sack. Throw a ball deep down the field. The pass is caught. What a throw! What a throw! Touchdown! Minneapolis to Almiron Sabu. Oh my goodness! A slow motion replay here. You've got to be kidding me. SFL is going to bring out the trophy, and Minneapolis is going to get to celebrate for the fans that came down. Receivers, 3 to the right side. Tallahassee needs a stop. They haven't gotten one here in the third. And Cochran's going to the end zone. It's caught for a touchdown. And Alaska has 9 points here in the third quarter. That's all she wrote, ladies and gentlemen. Congratulations to the Alaska Storm. They are your Season 11 SFL champions.
How about E.J. DeCue, Patrick Kelly, and Sean Crooked on that line. Great protection for Jackson. Now Moses is running over people, as are the rest of the Scorpions, and they bite him for a touchdown.
This Matt Wilson's pass is caught for a touchdown. What a throw to Dijon Swan. The Mexico City Aztecs, headlined by team owner Ramos Lin, gets their first SFL championship, a 38-24 victory over Chicago.
Ninth. Wigmore now 10 of 13, 76 yards, 14th pass of the day. Wigmore fires it outside, it's intercepted! John Barnhart, touchdown! Sioux Falls, he does it again for the Sparrows in the postseason!
Showing a blitz on the outside, it's Queen City. Everyone stays home. Darnell Black runs past everybody, picks up a block. Darnell Black in the open field. 40, 35, 30. Being chased by Shine. He won't catch him. And the Hyenas have cut it to 7.
Mama, there goes that man.
Stats all-star crew for a terrific start so far. Third down and 9 to start the second quarter. Ivory Irvin's over the top, and it's a touchdown for Baltimore.
Jark Tarkington has a chance to win it.
Oh my goodness. For all of that, and Tarkington gives Baltimore their 3rd straight title. Oh my goodness.
Well, McChesney gonna get a carry. Oh, there goes McChesney. One man to beat, he breaks it. Jaron McChesney down the sideline. Francis trying to catch him. Not today, young fella. Touchdown, Denver. They're right back in it. Down to 15 seconds left. Zuli back to pass. He's going to Corky. It is caught. And he breaks it. Touchdown, DC.
Greg Corky is
They gotta pull out something miraculous here.
DC can't let him get behind him. They got to keep everything in front of him here. This is the ball game. Daniel Garcia back to pass. He's going to throw it deep to the middle. The pass is caught, and the tackle is made. And the DC Dragons have won the championship by a miracle on Zach Zuli's throw to Greg Corky. And I let the fellas give me a breath.
Or, yeah.
Oh!
Live from the Lycan's Lair in Los Angeles, it's time for late night edition of the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music on YouTube. The Indianapolis Ramblers roll into town, a chance to put every 6-6 team on notice. With a win, the Ramblers eliminate all 6 lost teams from the playoffs. They're gone. They're done. But Los Angeles looking to play spoiler tonight and try to go strong into the offseason by picking up their 3rd win. My name is Michael Turillo. Happy to have your company. Also happy to have the company of Josh Urkel. Josh, this game is between the best passing offense in the league and one of the best passing defenses in the league, and you know what they say about unstoppable forces and immovable objects.
Yeah, I've heard that before, Trillo. Great to be with you. Indianapolis, not only are they great passing offense this season, they were great in season 19 as well. They have a chance to lead the league in passing yards per game and passing TDs for the 2nd straight year, but that comes at a cost. They are dead last in those categories on the rushing side. Talk about one-dimensional. Los Angeles, meanwhile, does their best football when they are getting turnovers. LA gets some turnovers, and they get a Hollywood performance out of Sully Richardson. They got a chance to win this one, but if you're Indianapolis, you're looking to win the air show tonight.
Indianapolis looking to rebound from a ridiculous loss to Atlanta. The Atlanta Swarm last week, 34-32, in which Atlanta looked to be down and out, but hit a boink off the uprights and in. Field goal as time expired to defeat the Ramblers and drop them to 6 and 4. Gray helmets, white jerseys, gray pants with the red and white accents for Indianapolis tonight. It's the Silver Bullet uniforms for the Lycans with the all silver accented with blue and gold. The Lycans will start on offense. Sully Richardson is their quarterback. Logan Jack at running back. LZ Pryor, Chris Lee, Shea Carroll at wide receiver. Tommy Rahman and Jack Flash at tight end. And on the offensive line, it's Jamarcus Candy, Bob Dunham, and Vladimir Dunham. Dropping to throw, Richardson underneath short for the first catch of the day. That one goes to Carroll. No, excuse me, that one goes to Amos.
That's Randy Amos, the backup tackle, lining up as a tight end. I didn't hear R62 declare him eligible. Sully Richardson got the Silver Bullet uniforms, playing, looking for a Silver Bullet secret weapon there in Randy Amos.
First play of the game, and the coaching staff for Los Angeles already pulling out all the stops. Here's a run to the outside for Logan Jack, and he gets down to the Indianapolis 48 for a first down. I can't get over that first play there, Josh.
Oh, it's magnificent. You know, this is what you want for Sunday Night Football. You want a little bit something unexpected, a little twist on an old favorite, and then after that, you got Logan Jack. Indianapolis was apparently just as stunned as you were, Mike.
Michelle Colston is the head coach. The coordinator is Ryan Yosef. And Sully Richardson, Logan Jack, the general manager. Richardson escapes in the backfield and has his little shovel pass over the middle incomplete, intended for Jack Flash. Here is the Indianapolis defense. Rocco Rossi, Mac Dre, Derek Jenko, and Jabril Curse on the defensive line. Linebackers Adam Wiseman, Chris Britton, Chad McDevitt. Corners Blake Bryan, Angel Maldonado, Ernest McRae Sr., and Adam Nold are the corners. Kanye Rockefeller and Bryant James are the safeties. Rockefeller, the return specialist, who I'm sure we will see plenty of times tonight, and I'm sure we'll see Derek Jenko plenty of times as well, as he stops Jack for a loss of 3.
And we'll see a little bit of Logan Jack tonight as well, Michael. 222 carries coming into the week. That was 5th best on the SFL leaderboard. You can see Richardson trying to get the run game established here now that they're approaching midfield.
They don't really like to use Jack out of the backfield that much. Only 225 yards and no touchdowns, but on 3rd and 12, he gets the call and only picks up 5. And it'll be Los Angeles to punt just inside of Rambler territory.
Yeah, Richardson has had an up and down kind of season. You know, he does not throw, in terms of total number of interceptions, only has 21 on the season. That's middle of the pack in terms of the SFL. The issue comes that the interceptions seem to come in bunches. He had 3 last week. And if he has 3 again this week, they're going to be in trouble.
Also 21 sacks. That's bottom third in the league. The offensive line not doing their job all the time to protect their quarterback. Indianapolis with Kanye Rockefeller on the return out to the 17-yard line. Deep field position for them. Here is their high-flying offense. Colin Pierce, the league leader in completions, attempts, yards, and touchdowns, is in the backfield along with Christian Pierce, the running back. Rob Hunt, Jay Viper, Ryan Roosevelt, and Jeff Banfield at wide receiver. Randy Pierce at tight end. Chad Rowland and Max Van Ling at the guard position. Stepping up in the pocket, Pierce on first down, complete to his big man, Ryan Roosevelt, who is first in receptions, yards, touchdowns, and targets in the SFL.
I'm just impressed that Pierce was able to find a non-Pierce to throw the football to. So many Pierces out there. It's like the face of a goth girl.
No. You've been waiting all day for that one, I'm sure.
Just getting it out early.
Just a couple of minutes gone by here. First offensive possession for Indianapolis. Pierce rolls and goes down. I didn't even get a chance to start talking about the Los Angeles defense, and Robert Thump comes knocking on Colin Pierce's door.
Great penetration by the rookie, second overall. You can see he just takes Al Lunster for a ride, gets right inside there. Colin Pierce getting tackled from the blind side, had no idea what was coming, and that is a big thump from Robert Thump.
The rest of the defensive line for the Lycans, Brogan Spiraw, Ace Blackwell, and Gary Marks. Linebackers, Tazzy Blackwell, Garrett Hudson, and Buddy Blaze. Corners, Mike Scott, Jack Hacksaw, and TD Jack, Michelle Colston, Ryan Proster, and Ryan Heyo Yosef are the safeties. And speaking of safeties, that ball went right in between the two of them to Rob Hunt for a first down.
A huge catch by Rob Hunt and a big display of this Indianapolis air show. Trips to the right side, and that's a nice post route from the rookie. And Pierce puts it right on his hands. And that's pretty impressive. You can do that against this LA secondary right out of the gate.
Hunt, the third receiver down the depth chart, 15 receptions, 206 yards, 2 touchdowns on 22 targets. And if that's your third receiver, man, you have got some wideout core. Into the flat it goes. Christian Pierce picks up 6 to midfield.
And this is what Indianapolis loves to do, just distribute the football. You mentioned Rob Hunt, who has not gotten a lot of volume. Jay Viper in there as well. Ryan Roosevelt already at 1,500 yards. Jeff Banfield closing in on 1,000 yards as well.
Could very well see Banfield reach the 1,000 mark for the season with a big day today. This time it goes into the flat, and Banfield, just as we were talking about him, picks up the first down.
Yeah, testing Mike Scott, the cornerback over there. And this is what you want to do on the offensive side of the ball. Get everybody involved, get your quarterback into a rhythm, and get a nice drive going where you can take some time off the clock. Indianapolis putting on a clinic here right out of the gate.
And if the Ramblers go up early, it could be a very dark cloud for the Lycans. This time going deep, and it's incomplete. Rochelle Colston with the knockdown. And there are so many interceptions, Josh, on this Lycans team that every team that faces them better be wary of throwing deep over the middle.
Yeah, especially against Colston, who for my money is the best free safety in the SFL. And when you're going to test her like that, you better bring something. And Colin Pierce, I think, needed a little bit more on that ball. Very lucky that it wasn't picked off.
2nd and 10. Going down the middle again. Wow. And this time the play is made by TD Jack.
TD Jack, Ryan Yosef, Proster, all of those performers in that secondary. Any one of them can come away with an interception at any time. And Jack looked like had some balance issues the way she was trying to catch that ball. Colin Pierce getting very lucky. Dodged a second silver bullet on that play.
Are in those all silver bullet uniforms. Lots of silver/gray on the field tonight. Pierce going deep a third time, and this time he tests the waters too much. Mike Scott with the interception, and Los Angeles has their first takeaway of the evening.
You don't want to say Colin Pierce deserved to get picked off there, but he kind of did. Rochelle Colston got a hand on one. TD Jack got a hand on one. And then Mike Scott closes the door on the Indianapolis offense. It gets a nice return there. This is exactly what Los Angeles needed to get back into this game, Torillo.
Los Angeles scoring 21.3 points per game. Indianapolis in the top 10 at 32.2. So the Lycans really got to keep this score down. And the best way to do that is turn the Ramblers offense over more times than one, probably, if the Lycans want a shot in this game. Oh, no. Look out. Derek Jenko. Second tackle for loss in the game. He got back there quick as lightning.
Yeah, great move by Jenko to get penetration. And Logan Jack just had nowhere to go. That stretch play is great if you can hold the defensive front with your offensive line and your tight ends. And Jenko blew that play up right away. Great TFL by the 6-year defensive tackle.
Already got 2 on the game. Nobody else on his team has a TFL yet. This time they go strong side handoff. And Mac Dre says, let me get in on this party, and it's another loss.
Yeah, Mac Dre, outstanding. Coming over from San Diego last season. And really, that could have been any one of those 4 Indianapolis Ramblers on the front. Los Angeles having some communication issues with their offensive line so far.
This is a passing down, if there ever was one. Richardson into the flat, and Los Angeles waves the white flag on that drive. It's a 3-and-out for the Lycans.
Los Angeles maybe a little too conservative here in the early goings. 2 runs to Jack. Neither of those got anywhere. And then going to the tight end, Jack Flash on 3rd down. We're seeing Los Angeles maybe a little bit more pensive than they would like, especially when they're playing at home here.
Well, the Los Angeles offense is built to pick up yards on 1st and 2nd down through their running game and then go to a short passing route, one of those guaranteed kind of 5-6 yarders to pick up first. The problem is, if your offensive line isn't holding and you're going backwards on 1st and 2nd down, then all those plays that you've added to the playbook for 3rd down don't work.
And that's just something that LA is going to have to figure out. And I think over the course of this game, especially if Colin Pierce decides to keep testing this LA secondary, we'll see Richardson open it up a little bit. And again, super early in this game, I kind of like the idea of Los Angeles deciding not to take chances here in the early going.
3-step drop for Pierce, into the flat for Banfield, and it's a quick 5-yard pickup. If you're new to the SFL, the Simulation Football League combines traditional sports, esports, and a role-playing game into one. Team strategies are being executed in real time by our simulations as real-life players compete on the virtual gridiron. For more information about the SFL, visit our website at www.simulationfl.net. The SFL, it's football for everyone. Pierce. And that is to a T what the Lycans offense is trying to do in 2nd and 3rd and short.
And if LA keeps giving them a big cushion on the edges like they just did, Indianapolis is going to have no problem doing that. A 10-yard cushion for both corners on the side. That's an easy pitch and catch for Pierce to Ryan Roosevelt.
Well, the other thing the Lycans love to do is they love to drop deep, right? To get those picks deep. They love to defend the deep pass. Pierce underneath again, this time complete as Roosevelt drags the feet. We saw last week against Atlanta, Josh, they went to Roosevelt in the flat an obscene amount of times.
Yeah, 7 catches last week for Roosevelt, eclipsed the century mark, and had a score as well. He has 15 on the season. That leads all wide receivers in the entire league. But yeah, as you can see, he doesn't need to just be in the end zone to make an impact on offense.
6-yard pickup on 1st down after the toe drag swag from Roosevelt. 2 left, single right, tight end also set to the left. 4-man front. It goes into the flat swing pass for Christian Pierce. He picks up 3 yards and is 1 yard shy, bring up 3rd and 1.
Mike Scott in there on the tackle. The defensive front, the defensive secondary, I should say, for the Lycans flying in to cover those flat routes. I'd like to see the linebackers get a little more involved in that aspect, especially here on 3rd and short.
3rd and short, they're still in a passing formation here. They go late as a dump-off option, and Christian Pierce is swallowed whole by the Lycans.
Just talking about the linebackers, and Tazzy Blackwell comes in to blow up Christian Pierce. Get herself a big TFL right there. That is a clutch stop by the Lycans.
No carries on the game for Christian Pierce. On the season, he's 18th in the league in carries coming into the game, 173, and 26th in rushing yards, 392. Only averaging 2.3 yards a carry and 2 touchdowns. So, I know they don't like to go to the running back in rushing situations, like to use him out of the backfield, but you'd think on 3rd and 1, you might want to try and run it up the middle.
Well, if you're designed to throw the football, and this Indianapolis team clearly is, then that's what you're going to try and do, whether it's 1 yard or 3 yards. It almost doesn't make that much of a difference. And if you can't run the ball, you can't run the ball.
First down for LA, incomplete. And I want to go back to that 3rd down play as well. All credit to Spiro, Blackwell, Thump, and Marks on the Los Angeles defensive line for creating the havoc in the backfield and forcing Colin Pierce to take the check down.
Yeah, and they all did a great job. That pocket just collapsed as soon as they snapped the ball. Colin Pierce made a hasty throw. Christian Pierce was just swallowed up as soon as he got his hands on the ball. There's nowhere to go. And that's what LA's defense is going to have to do to stay competitive in this game.
Been doing the job so far. Richardson and the rest of the offense got to get something going. It's a pump fake, then check down, and Logan Jack loses another yard. So on his last 3 touches, he's -5 on the yards department and sets up another 3rd and long.
And Indy content to just rush 3 on that play and send 8 in the coverage, including Chris Britton, who was first on the scene on that catch from Logan Jack and caught him behind the line of scrimmage.
And in 3rd and 11, they're in a rushing formation. They'll drop to throw, go underneath, and the pass is dropped by Tommy Rahman, and another 3 and out for Los Angeles. 3 drives for Los Angeles, 20 total yards.
And Indianapolis just doing a nice job of getting pressure up front, and I think that is predicating everything else that's happened. It was not a great throw to Tommy Rahman. It did hit him in the hands, but by the time the ball was there, so was the defender, and Rahman had nowhere to go and couldn't even bring the football in.
Well, every time you punt or kick to this Indianapolis team, you got to watch out for Kanye Rockefeller. He is a house call merchant. 5 total return touchdowns on the season, 4 on kickoffs, 1 on punt returns. He's #1 in kick return yards and #2 in punt return yards in the SFL this season.
And didn't do much there, but he's got Indianapolis on their own 40-yard line. That's their best starting field position in this game so far, Mike.
17, 22, and 40, the 3 starting field positions for the Ramblers. They've gotten into Los Angeles territory, or at least close, all 3 times. So they're slowly inching their way up the field position battle. Pierce looking over the middle, and it's caught! Somehow Randy Pierce hauled that in amidst 3 defenders.
Just stand back and admire the cojones of Colin Pierce to drop that right in the pickle barrel with 3 different defenders. Pressure coming. That's touch. That's just lofting it right up there. Ryan Yosef was there. Didn't make the play on the ball. Rochelle Colston was there. Couldn't make a play on it. And Randy Pierce just let it fall into his breadbasket. And just like that, Indianapolis is in LA territory in the first play of the drive.
I'm sorry, did you say pickle barrel?
Pickle barrel, breadbasket. Anything to do with groceries.
Maybe somebody is a little hungry. Here's another 6-yard out to Roosevelt. They do that better than pretty much anyone. And it's 2nd and 4.
The thought of pickles makes you hungry? That surprises me.
I was talking about you. You're the one that brought up food.
I don't get excited about pickles and bread. I mean, I need something to go with those pickles.
2nd down and 4. Flip backs for Indianapolis. Pierce again to the sideline. Roosevelt can't make that play because he's already 3 steps out of bounds. 3rd down.
I think it's better to have lunch with a friend that hates pickles, because that way you not only get your pickle on the sandwich, but a lot of times you can have your friend's pickle as well. So you double up on the pickles. It's just something to keep in mind as we head back into the work week.
Yeah, not a bad idea, but unfortunately everybody in my family likes pickles, so there are no extra pickles to go around. Third down and 4. Under a minute to go in the first half. Speaking of Red's in the chat. How you doing? Throws down the field to the 10 and hauled down at the 6-yard line. It's Rockefeller.
And this is a great route by Banfield here. Pierce, a short drop, and the post is right there. Rochelle Colston can't get there in time. Banfield making a big catch, and it's Indianapolis 1st and goal.
Correction, Jeff Banfield made that last catch to get Indianapolis down inside the 10. To the back of the end zone and caught for the touchdown. Or did he drag the feet?
I think he had 1 foot in. They're going to say incomplete.
Yeah, well, in the end zone you need 2, not 1. So Indianapolis is going to challenge that the receiver got both feet in bounds.
I don't know about this challenge, Trillo. It looked like that Roosevelt had the 1 foot, and then the second foot went clearly out of bounds. We'll get another look at it here. You know, just a great route out to the corner. Ball's coming up. Left foot is in. Right foot is not.
It's out of bounds. Would have been Roosevelt's 16th touchdown of the season, but he's going to get at least 2 more chances at it, I'm sure, because in these short yardage situations, they love to go to Roosevelt, especially on an out route. I'd love to see what you would do, you know, kind of throwing it out towards the near corner of the end zone.
Well, I like the play call. I got to tell you what, though, I don't like the challenge, especially this early in the game, and especially on 1st and goal.
Well, Indy loses a timeout with 26 seconds to go in the first. Pierce looking, throwing, tipped, and incomplete. A couple of different Lycans had a shot at it, chiefly Buddy Blaze, but it's 3rd and goal for the Ramblers.
Yeah, not quite into the Buddy Blaze's pickle barrel. He had a couple of mitts on it, could not bring it in. That would have been a huge interception. But Colin Pierce just throwing this ball with reckless abandon, taking shots, throwing caution to the wind against this Lycan secondary. It's inspiring to watch.
3rd and goal from the 6, gun straight for Indianapolis. Pierce, the chest-high snap, rolls to his right, throws over the middle, and it's picked!
And look at that,
LA's going to get
at the 2.
Yeah, LA's going to get the ball at the 2-yard line. Ryan Yosef says, hey-o, my ball, but he got pushed out of the end zone. I'm not see who got the hit. It was Banfield. That's a heads-up play by Banfield to make sure they don't start at the 20, but start in the shadow of their own goal line.
Yeah, a little bit shady because I don't think that ball would have been run out at all. Yosef had it, looked like he was ready to take a knee, and then Banfield just plowed into him. Gotta love that hustle by a wide receiver.
And now, the Lycans, who have mostly gone backwards in their offense today, are backed up to their own 2. They get a couple more yards there to make it a little bit easier.
And that's all you need at this point. You just need a little breathing room. Get out from under the shadow of your own goalpost. Try and get some positive yards any way you can.
First quarter done. Both teams, goose eggs. You're watching the SFL presented by PM Music on YouTube. Second quarter on tap here from the Lycans Lair. Michael Torillo, Josh Zirkle in the broadcast booth with Greg, the Cuban Missile Soto, and Ron, who doesn't have a nickname, Haynes, in the stats truck for us. Cameron Irvine producing, as always, first down for Logan Jack to start quarter number 2.
And that's great for LA, their first down of the game. They had to wait a whole quarter to get it. Logan Jack, nice little stretch play here, gets the blocking finally. And that's been the difference in this game so far. Indianapolis has been able to block, give their quarterback some time. And now Los Angeles able to do the same for Logan Jack.
He got nailed by Kanye Rockefeller at the end of that play.
He did get smushed.
Richardson lobs it up. It's caught at the 35. Turning on the Jets is Tommy Robin. Hashtag throw it to the tight end into Indianapolis territory.
And this is what happens when you sleep on Sully Richardson. And Tommy Rahman getting loose. Great pocket there. And great touch on that ball to Rahman, who was able to get past Blake Prine And Kanye Rockefeller has to come over and make a touchdown-saving tackle. And if Rockefeller's not there, the ramen is gone.
Blake Brine, the corner, just kind of stood there like a deer in the headlights as that ball went perfectly over his head and into the outstretched arms of Robbins. This time, stretch play. Jack breaks the tackle. Stop and go to the outside, and Logan Jack is free. The Wolverine is going down the sidelines. Another broken tackle and another touchdown-saving stop by Chad McDevitt this time at the 9-yard line. Oh, how quickly the tables have turned for Los Angeles.
And Logan Jack again getting loose on the outside, showing that breakaway speed. Blake Brine again showing up in the frame for all the wrong reasons. And once again, a touchdown-saving tackle, absolutely necessary to keep Los Angeles off the board. And who was that? That was Chad McDevitt flying in. That was a backside outside linebacker coming in to make that stop and save the touchdown.
A 40-yard pass, a 39-yard run. And how about it? Los Angeles is in the red zone at the 9-yard line, 1st and goal. This time, you do want to run the out route because it gets you a 2nd and goal at the 2. Nice turn up field as well by Jack Flash.
Jack Flash bringing that in. Nice adjustment to the football. Richardson put it behind him a little bit, maybe a little too cautious on the throw. But that's impressive that Jack is able to kind of reach down for that ball and then turn up field and then gain positive yardage, get his team down to the 2.
Offset eye, 2 receivers right. Linebackers press to the line. Jack gets the ball, breaks a tackle, stretches for the pylon. Touchdown! Logan Jack fires the Lycans into the lead.
And it's a great call by Los Angeles to go back to your running back on short yardage. The blocking set up nicely. The handoff is there for Jack. Great blocking there by Victor Creed, the fullback. And Jack in a one-on-one battle with Chad McDevitt wins the battle, breaks the plane. Los Angeles strikes first at home.
And now, if you're Indianapolis, remember they lost their challenge on the play in the back of the other end zone. So they can't challenge this. Even though it looked like it was a close call on the goal line. Sid O'Lindy, the hold was a little suspect, but he does get the extra point up and good. 7-0. LA, the SFL convention is coming to Cincinnati, Ohio, July 28th to 30th for a season 21 kickoff weekend. For room reservation details and the weekend schedule, see the #convention alerts channel in the SFL Discord server. Rooms are going fast. Reserve your special group rate today. We'll see you there. And both Josh and I will see you there. We'll both be there. Never want to miss the SFL convention, do you, Josh?
No, not at all. You and I will have to find something to do play-by-play on. Maybe we'll roll some marbles down the hill or find a couple of children fighting over a toy fire truck or something. But we'll get some reps in one way or another.
Indianapolis now finds themselves down 7-0 despite dominating for the majority of this game so far. But the 2 interceptions for Los Angeles really looming large, as well as that failed challenge in the back of the end zone.
And that big drive as well, Mike. Remember, they started at their own 2, and they drove 98 yards right down Indy's throat.
Over the middle, incomplete. That's a rare miss from Colin Pierce as he threw that one too far in front of Ryan Roosevelt.
Yeah, a lot of traffic there around Roosevelt. Couldn't tell if maybe he ran into his own fellow receiver there. But yeah, as you said, we don't see Colin Pierce's pass attempts hit the ground very often, but that one did.
6 plays, 98 yards in 2 minutes and 7 seconds for Los Angeles on their scoring drive. Thank you, Ron Haynes, for keeping us up to date with all things offensive numbers. Greg Soto doing the defense. Jeff Banfield doing the catching on that play, and it's 3rd and 4.
And Indy's really going to have to answer the big plays that LA put up. Sully Richardson had the 40-yard pass to Tommy Rahman, and then Logan Jack ripped off a 39-yard run after that. And this LA defense so far has not yielded any kind of big play from Los Angeles at all.
Third and 4. Haven't really seen Indianapolis backed up on a 3rd down yet, but they go to the tried and true Jeff Banfield, and he slides through for a 1st down.
Yeah, once again, LA giving a lot of cushion in that zone. And those receivers able to slide underneath Banfield this time and get just enough to convert for the first down.
Banfield last week against Atlanta also had 7 catches to co-lead with Roosevelt. Only had 79 yards, but 11.3 yards per carry, still pretty good. Flipbacks again for the Ramblers. Banfield on a deja vu type play picks up 5.
Yeah, I don't know if it's easier or more difficult to catch the ball on your rump, but I know that once you do catch the ball, like, your effort's kind of done. You could just, take a couple moments to yourself and then finally get up. Everybody knows you're on the ground. You're not going anywhere.
That must be in Adam Wiseman and Colin Pierce's training schedule during the week. That time over the middle into traffic and incomplete, and another 3rd down and medium coming up for the Ramblers.
Yeah, very similar to that play we saw in the first play of the drive where Roosevelt got tangled up. And I'm not sure that wasn't pass interference by one of the defenders.
I was kind of looking for a flag. It didn't come from R62.
It wasn't really explicit. It just looked like he had to sort through some bodies that were there. It didn't really have a chance to get to the football.
Here's the gun straight look. 3 left, single right. Pierce in the gun, 3-step drop. Over the middle into all of the white jerseys. One of them's got to catch it. And Ryan Roosevelt does move the chains to the LA 45.
Yeah, running that all slants, and you've got all that cushion there. It looks like it was Rob Hunt making his 2nd catch of the game. And Pierce very patient, just waiting for that play to develop. Randy Pierce takes the linebacker out of the hook zone. It leaves Rob Hunt wide open, and Pierce nails it for the first down.
Colin Pierce, 146 yards, but 2 interceptions. 1 for Mike Scott, 1 for Ryan Yosef. And this time they go back to the flat with Banfield.
Banfield again, the dink and dunk working well for Indianapolis right now. LA got those big plays, and Indy contrasting that with a lot of short passes going down the field, trying to stitch together a bit of a longer drive. And so far, so good. Play number 8 of this drive coming up.
Banfield already up to 7 catches on 9 targets for 59 yards in the game. Pierce going long. Oh, it's almost picked again. He was looking for that one-on-one matchup, Randy Pierce against Colston, and Rochelle wins the battle.
Yeah, that's really just a nasty throw into double coverage. He's a little too much on it. Pierce lets it loose. 2 defenders in front of him. And that was Rochelle Colston that almost brought it in. Garrett Hudson is there on the coverage as well. Just a bad throw.
How about that for a linebacker? An outside one at that, stepping back into coverage on a tight end. A 6'5" tight end.
And was there the whole way. Been playing some great defense. 11 passes deflected for Hudson so far this season.
Pierce almost kind of slung that underhanded to Jay Viper for his first catch of the contest. And it works like a charm. Indianapolis to the 25.
Yeah, Viper, not a lot of volume this year, only 41 catches so far. But this is a nice job getting loose with LA running the twist and his one-on-one with TD Jack. And Viper had a step on Jack. And Pierce, veteran quarterback that he is, found him with the football.
Pierce kind of had that sidearm action.
A little bit.
On that last play. This time it's a run to Christian Pierce. And he picks up 6 on his first carry of the contest.
And that looked pretty good. You were able to run like that. And you mentioned this earlier, Mike. That's something maybe you should try a little bit more often. LA caught totally off guard by the run, and I think we were too a little bit.
This time looks like they'll go back to the pass out of the shotgun. They do. Pierce, out to Pierce. And he cannot pierce his way through the defense. Nice tackle by Blackwell. And it's 3rd and 1.
Yeah, great hit by Blackwell. Bringing up 3rd and short. And now we're in that situation you were talking about earlier, Torello. This is a perfect short yardage opportunity. Will Christian Pierce get the call here? Or will it be Colin Pierce putting the ball in the air again?
This is the exact same formation that they passed out of on 3rd and 1. on a previous drive where they failed to convert. This time they are going to hand the ball off, and it's going to be a broken tackle to the outside inside the 10. Christian Pierce, second carry of the drive.
And that brings up 1st and goal. Christian Pierce looks like he's been doing this all season long. Great blocking up front. A nice little bit of shiftiness. Alexander Rossi, number 52, making a big block. And that is what you want to see in short yardage, giving your guy a chance to maybe break it toward the end zone. And that's exactly what Indy had, 1st and goal.
Nice bounce back drive by Indy so far. 12 plays, 67 yards. To get down inside the 10 once again. Banfield to a 3. Can't stretch it across the pylon.
64 yards on 8 catches, and you could do the math there. I mean, he's getting 8 yards a pop on those out routes. Some of that is LA playing a big cushion. Some of that is just getting open. But impressive that he's able to get, 6 yards on that throw in the red zone. That's just a veteran at work.
Now the corners are really laying back no matter where they are on the field. Now Los Angeles will go for some bump coverage in the goal line look, but they give it to Christian Pierce. And he is thrown backwards and gains no yards. Robert Thump up the middle.
Robert Thump was on a defensive line that, for the longest time had a lot of youth. I remember when Ace Blackwell joined the Lycans in mid-season about 3 seasons ago. Spiro and Marks been with the team about that long as well. So far, it's a really good cohesive unit that we're seeing.
3rd and goal. Pierce looking. He throws it too tall. It was behind Roosevelt. He had to come back for it. And Scott was right there to apply the finishing touch. And the Ramblers are held to a field goal.
Outstanding play by Mike Scott. Could have been a better throw by Colin Pierce for sure. Ryan Roosevelt had to leave his feet to get that ball. That was the differentiating factor, Torillo. He had to stop and replant and then would have to change his momentum to get back upfield when Mike Scott made sure there was no chance of that.
This will be a relative chip shot for Top Kiefer. And he puts it in from 18 yards away. Now 21 of 22 on this season. That's cool 95%. And Indianapolis is on the board. 7-3 LA, 3:47 to go in a very quickly moving first half here, Josh.
Yeah, a lot of action. Teams keeping the ball in bounds. Los Angeles especially running the ball. And this is what you like to see, a lot of action. That was a 16-play drive by Indianapolis, and they took a lot of time off of that clock, to be sure. 6 minutes and 10 seconds.
Bouncing around the Shea Carroll on the return. We haven't seen Carroll make a catch yet in the ball game, but he's back there returning kicks for Los Angeles. They'll start at their own 30-yard line, looking to maintain some offensive momentum from their last drive.
And you don't have to do a lot here. I mean, this is a spot where you could really shave all of this time off, regardless of how far you get down the field. We'll see what LA decides to do here.
Going to be Richardson throwing in the flat to Tommy Rahman, who does his best Jeff Banfield impression and picks up 7 yards.
Yeah, and Rahman, a lot of versatility. Obviously, he played fullback for Los Angeles back in the day, and now part of the tight end package. And a lot of versatility, and whatever Rahman has been asked to do for this Lycans team, he has done it.
Now on 2nd and 3, we'll see what they do here. Jack, the single back, with a 5-step drop. Richardson going deep, and somehow the pass is hauled in by Chris Lee.
Chris Lee, one of the better deep receivers in the league, and you can see, runs, fakes the post, and then goes back to the corner, and Sully Richardson drops a dime on him. Kanye Rockefeller meets him in midair and sends Chris Lee to the ground, but Lee holds on to the ball, makes a fantastic catch to get his team in plus territory.
Lee just mossed a guy who has 10 seasons in the league on him. And a free play for LA as the Ramblers jump off sides. They'll go over the middle, and I'm not sure if they'll take this penalty or not. I'd take the penalty.
I think I would take the penalty too.
It was just a short route to Rahman. LA will get a free 5 yards. That's the first laundry on the field of the night. Although we might have seen one earlier, but the referee kept the flag in their pocket.
As is his prerogative.
Now 1st and 5 after the Lycans do accept the penalty. Strong offset eye. They run strong side right. Jack trying to fight through some contact, and he doesn't pick up the first down. It's very close as we hit the dose. Minute warning here in the first half. Los Angeles up on top 7-3. They've got the ball. They're in Indianapolis territory. They're hunting for more. Right here on the Simulation Football League, presented by APM Music on YouTube. 2nd and inches, Josh, and you might have thought that Los Angeles was going to challenge that, but they're back on the field.
No, I think that's a good decision to not challenge. 2nd and inches, plenty of time to get this.
Jack off the stretch play, and that time every block was in place, and Logan grabs a first.
Yeah, and that O-line had some jitters in the first couple of drives, and they've really settled down. And Jack's had some nice holes, and I think if he had busted that outside a play ago, you know, that team would probably be in the red zone at this point.
Big shout out to Vladimir Dunham. Got a big block on that last play from the right tackle spot. This time they flip the formation around and run strong side to the left. Jack continues to go up the middle and picks up 3 yards, and the Lycans seemingly have found a formation that they like here coming down to the end of the first half.
Yeah, the 2 tight end set working out really well for them. Jack Flash, Tommy Rahman, Victor Creed, the fullback working in there as well, getting as many bodies as they can up against that front 7 for Logan Jack.
Now they change formations. They run Jack to the weak side. He gets a great block. He spins away from a tackle. And with under a minute to go, here comes the up-tempo offense from Los Angeles.
They've got Indy on the ropes. They're going to keep this formation. They like the matchups.
They're going to throw out to Jack. He's got a lot of work to do. Tackled inbounds, timeout Los Angeles. I don't mind going with the one-play no huddle there just to see if you can find a hole in the Indianapolis defense.
No, not all. Obviously, they had something in that look that they liked and found a way to get it to Logan Jack. And probably just a block or maybe even 2 blocks short of busting that into the corner. But I like the timeout. I like regrouping here and getting fresh personnel on the field.
You got to be patient here if you're Richardson. 45 seconds to go in the half. He's going to look to the end zone. It is incomplete, and that is the opposite of being patient, and that one caroms off Rockefeller's shoulder pads and out of play.
Yeah, I like going to Chris Lee, but man, that is a tough way to get it in there. Rockefeller all over this play, playing right in front of the goalpost, steps in front of Lee, recognizes the play, and very nearly comes away with an interception.
I said shoulder pad. He got a hand out there and tipped it away from Lee. Wow, kind of moving backwards the other way. That's a fantastic defensive play on the goal line.
Yeah, with the ball behind him, he's able to reach out, and if that ball had been in front of him, he probably would have had it, and it's probably his instincts, Torilla, that allowed him to get that jump on it. If he'd been a little slower, he probably would have hit him right in the chest.
3rd and 8. Richardson gonna go short, and the receiver wasn't ready for it. Jack Flash looked like he went out to go block and was not ready for the pass to come his way 4th down.
Well, I think he was expecting Chris Britton to tip it. Britton had that hand up and went flying through the frame, and I thought he did get a piece of it. Jack Flash, I think, thought so as well. And Flash still a couple yards short of the end zone, and it stops the clock here. I'm not a fan of that either, Torillo.
Olindi on for a 25-yard attempt. This time, no problems with the snap or hold. It's up, it's good, and Olindi, just like Kiefer, is 21 of 22 on the season.
That's still a great drive, though, by Los Angeles. Able to go down and get some more points, put the lead back at 7. 11-play drive, 61 yards. And that is how you close out a first half. And they could have closed out the first half if had they managed the clock just a little bit better.
Any SFL action? Check out highlights of SFL games on the SFL YouTube channel and on Highlight Nation. presented by Victor's Valiant, YouTube's premier sports highlight maker. Subscribe to Highlight Nation and Victor's Valiant on YouTube for all your sports highlight needs. And Kanye Rockefeller return prowess does not just affect the opposing defenses, it affects me. Because every time I look away to read some of those things on kickoffs, I'm always like kind of second guessing myself. Is he going to break one? Is he going to break one? I look up, where is he? So
You really got to have your popcorn ready with that guy.
oh yeah. Out to Christian Pierce. 23 seconds left. Indianapolis still has 2 timeouts, but goes up tempo. And Christian Pierce got to run all the way back to his spot behind the quarterback. He's going to hand it off to him. He gets no yards. 8 seconds left, and this one might just head to the half, or they'll call a timeout with 2 seconds left and attempt a Hail Mary, which they will.
And if you're going to throw the Hail Mary, I think you would have preferred to throw one at least down the field again. You had the time available. There's no need to hurry up. And now Colin Pierce and Adam Wiseman having a conversation about that as well. Christian Pierce saying, I had to run back and then make a carry. What's going on here?
If you're just joining us, a lot is on the line tonight. If Indianapolis falls, all 6 lost teams are still in play for a playoff spot. If Indy were to win, as the half is over on an incompletion, then all teams that have 6 or more losses are out of playoff contention with a week to go. We've hit the half. It's the Lycans 10, the Ramblers 3. It's SFL After Dark here on YouTube. Josh, what did you make of that first half?
Well, LA's getting exactly what they need. They're getting performance out of their secondary. And Sully Richardson has stepped up. 2 interceptions for the Lycans defense. Mike Scott and Brian Yosef have a tally each. And Richardson has looked fantastic in the early goings. Logan Jack has a rushing touchdown. And LA doing all that they need to do right now, including getting pressure on Colin Pierce in that Indianapolis passing game.
They are holding a team that averages 31 points per game to nada. Or excuse me, just 3 points in the first half. Indianapolis will start with the ball first on their own. 27. Once again, thank you for joining us on this Sunday evening, this Easter Sunday evening. Thank you for spending your holiday with us. My name is Michael Trevillo. Josh Zirkle is in the booth with me, Greg Soto and Ron Haynes on stats. Cameron Irvine producing as per the usual. Gun straight on first down. Short middle caught. And Indianapolis has a 7-yard gain.
And that's Rocco McLovin, the number 5 wide receiver in this offense. Coming up with a catch there. Colin Pierce just looking for any way he can to exploit this Lycans secondary, trying to show them something that they haven't seen before. And passing McLovin certainly fits the bill.
Quick pass to Roosevelt, and the defense was not expecting it, and it gets Indianapolis a first down. So we've seen a tackle catch a pass for Los Angeles. We've seen the 5th wide receiver catch a pass for Indy. Coordinator's throwing out all the stops here today in Week 13.
You love to see it.
A run to Christian Pierce. Goes for just 2, and it's second down. Hey, don't leave the broadcast without joining our Discord server. There's so much more to do in the SFL than just being a player. Join to check out content for teams and about the league created by the community. Participate in pick'em games, play SFL fantasy football, and test your skills in the Survivor Pool. To join our server, visit www.simulationfl.net and click on the Discord icon on the menu. There's a lot of Discord in that offensive line right there.
And while you were
Garrett
reading that, Terrell, I
Hudson.
think we just saw back-to-back runs from Christian Pierce.
We did for the first time today, but Garrett Hudson said you're not going anywhere. 3rd down and 8.
The zaniness is palpable in this game so far tonight.
Now 5 wide. I think this is the first time we've seen this look out of Indianapolis today. Pierce low snap. Has time. Throws short over the middle. And it once again went to McLovin on the 5th read And that just means the Lycans defense was everywhere on that play.
Yeah, it does. And that's quite a contrast from the Colin Pierce we saw in the first half, where he was throwing the ball right down Rochelle Colston's throat. Now a little more subdued Colin Pierce this time. Sees his team in a 10-3 hole, checking down to the number 5 wide receiver, but it's still not enough, and Indy has to punt.
Really low snap. Maddie Wiseman corrals it and forces a Shea Carroll fair catch at the LA 20-yard line. Los Angeles closed the first half on an absolute tear. They did. Their last 2 drives, 6 plays, 98 yards and a touchdown, 11 plays, 61 yards and a field goal. Could have possibly been a touchdown as well.
And they're getting performance out of their offensive line, and that's opening up everything else.
Richardson, nice little play design right there to sneak the tight end out of the formation, and Rahman makes a 6-yard catch.
And Rahman's done that a couple times tonight, and where the defense has thought that he's been staying in the block, and he just kind of slips toward the flat. And Richardson has found him every time.
Richardson now with offset eye behind him. Los Angeles will love to run strong side out of this formation. The defense shifts to the weak side, and Logan Jack punishes them. First down, LA.
And once again, Logan Jack cutting inside, had the block from Chris Lee. Had he bounced that outside, might have had a better lane. Let's see if we get a better look at. Look at number 88, Chris Lee, bottom left of your screen, getting the block right there. Jack goes inside, and that allows Kanye Rockefeller to slip off the block and bring Jack down. If Jack heads toward the sideline, he might be gone for another touchdown.
But again, a defensive miscue in the setup for Indianapolis. The linebackers shifted away from the run. Now they're just going to go straight up the middle. Jack falls forward for a gain of 3.
And Logan Jack is warming up. I know that was not a high leverage run by any stretch, but the Lycans very comfortable handing the ball to Jack at this point. And I think I would be as well, approaching the 100-yard mark on just 14 carries. Of course, had that touchdown in the first half. Logan Jack is poised to take over this game.
And also had the long run to set it up, 39 yards to get them down into the red zone. This time they hit him out of the backfield for a couple, and it's 3rd and 3, first third down of this drive.
I'll be curious to see what LA decides to do here. Tommy Rahman, with that sort of out route that he's been running lately, that would be good for 3 yards. Logan Jack could do it as well. Or do they decide to go to Elsie Pryor or Shea Carroll, neither of whom have a catch so far tonight?
0 for 4 on 3rd down in the first half for Los Angeles. Can they break the duck right here? They're going to go strong side run again. Logan Jack breaks a tackle, gets a block, and it's a potentially touchdown saving tackle for Bryant James as Logan Jack continues to flex his muscles here across the halftime interval.
It's a bit astounding how often we've said touchdown saving tackle, but that's exactly what it's been. This time Jack outruns the block from Chris Lee, and Rockefeller has to come in and save the day. Well, that is a great run, though, and Jack obviously running wild and free, feeling great that he's able to get out of the backfield at full speed.
A nice amount of yards per carry for Logan Jack. This time they run weak side. The block is picked up. Logan Jack has the speed inside the 35 to the 32-yard line.
And this time it's Bryant James, the strong safety, that has to bring him down. And this game's turning into a Logan Jack highlight reel. Watch Chris Lee right there. That was Elsie Pryor that made the block. And it's Bryant James that had to grab Logan Jack from behind by the shoulder pads. But now Los Angeles in field goal range, looking to add to their lead.
17 yards on that particular carry. Again, they stretch Jack. He's looking a little bit fatigued there, as this time he only get 3.
Well, Adam Wiseman got penetration, was able to meet Jack at the line of scrimmage, then hang on for the ride until reinforcements arrived. And still, Jack got 3 yards out of the exchange. It tells you a little bit about how well LA's running the ball right now.
I am being admonished by our broadcast overlord, Cameron Irvine, for my joke there and before the previous play. They run it again, and you can tell that Logan Jack is out of gas as he only gets 2, setting up 3rd and 5.
In LA, probably recognizing the kind of game that they're in right now, showing some confidence in their defense. And they seem content to just walk away from this drive with a field goal, keep the defense on the field a little bit, the Indianapolis defense, that is. Kick a field goal, go up 13-3.
But they run it to Logan again, and oh, that's a fantastic job by Adam Wiseman to shed the block and make the tackle for no gain.
Yeah, it really is. And it looked like that seal was going to be in place. That was Melody Travaglio, the guard that had Wiseman sealed off, and Wiseman able to shed the block and take down Logan Jack short of the marker.
This is not a gimme for Sid O'Lindy. This will be a 42-yarder to put the Lycans up by 10. The kick is away. The kick is good, and it's a 2-score game with half the third quarter gone.
And that's the other thing. You mentioned the pace of this game. And Los Angeles content to run the ball and just run out the clock. You know, Indianapolis, conversely, they're used to having longer games when you're throwing the ball all the time, running all those out routes. It's a bit of a change of pace for them, heading under the bright lights of Hollywood and having Los Angeles dictate the terms to them in this game.
45 yards of that last drive were all Logan Jack. Rockefeller on the return, and all credit to the Los Angeles defense as they have bottled up number 48 so far tonight in the return game. They'll start at their own 24.
And for Colin Pierce, you know, what we saw in the first drive of him being a little more cautious, checking down to his fifth receiver, Rocco McLovin. I think we need to see the Colin Pierce of the first half taking a few more chances. I know he did have those 2 interceptions in the first half, but your team is in a hole now at this point. You got to get something going.
They're going to run it to Christian Pierce, who's only getting 1.9 yards per carry.
I think the more stunning thing is that he's actually getting carries. You know, this here in the middle game, Christian Pierce looking like a focal point of this offense. Not something you expected to see from a running back that's 18th in the league in carries and 26th in rushing yards.
Well, if you're a passing offense, it doesn't hurt to establish the run, but you want to do that in the first quarter, not in the third when you're down 10. Oh, what a hit! Ryan Yosef saves a first down with a crushing shoulder blow against Ryan Roosevelt.
Yeah, and Roosevelt really had no chance to get a hold of that ball. Silver bullet jerseys flying all around him. It's like when Super Mario jumps on that pirate ship. What level is that?
I don't know. You've gone over my head with that one.
You know what I'm talking about, though, right? With the bullets?
Yeah, with the bullet bill. Yeah.
There it is.
There are bullet bills in every Mario game.
Yeah, Bullet Bill. That's what it reminded me of.
All right, Jeff Banfield unable to convert on third down, so a second straight punt for Matty Wiseman in Indianapolis.
And that's a 3 and out. And Indianapolis has got to find some answers on the offensive side. This is something we were talking about with Los Angeles. And we just thought Indy would come in here and just throw the lights out, and that has not happened at all. Colin Pierce, 209 yards, but 2 picks, and has not found the end zone.
The script, as they say, has been flipped so far. Good starting field position for LA at their own 40. As you said, we expected Indianapolis to come out, throw the ball, be dominant. The records would obviously, you would think that the Ramblers would be the favorites in this game, but Los Angeles playing for nothing but pride with the backs of pretty much every team on the bubble.
And this LA team, though, I mean, they've got the talent to win games consistently. They've just not gotten the play from the secondary that we're used to seeing in years past.
Ooh, that time, Logan Jack gets speared by the defender.
It was Mac Dre.
Mac Dre, second tackle for loss for him.
Flying in there his first year in Indianapolis. It's been a good one so far. Did not have any tackles last week, certainly making up for that here in Los Angeles tonight.
2nd and 13. We have seen the big weak point of this LA offense is when they get behind the sticks early in drives. Richardson going deep, incomplete.
Is that Rockefeller that swooped in and nearly picked that off? That is something you did not see. It's not I don't think that was a careless throw by Richardson. I just thought that was a great play by Rockefeller coming in and leaping what looked like 6 feet off the turf with a chance to pick that off.
Now on 3rd and 13, they're going to have to do it again. And so the secondary can just sit back there and lick their lips and wait for another meatball. Richardson delivers, and it's caught! How in the world did Shea Carroll hang on to that one?
Carroll's first catch of the game, and boy, is that a huge one. Indianapolis runs the twist. They don't get home in time. Richardson has time to uncork the throw, and Shea Carroll right there catching the ball as contact arrives. And that is a huge clutch catch by Shea Carroll.
Tight roping the sideline and getting hammered by the defender, all while holding on to the ball and extending the LA drive. And every first down for the Lycans just means that Indianapolis has less and less time to come back in this game. This is a free play, and it could go all the way to the 5, tackled at the 4.
Well, we know that one's going to stand. Jack Flash getting loose. And Richardson once again dropping a dime on his receiver.
That's what you wanted them to do in the first half when they got that free play. Richardson saw the opening, took the shot, and that time the defender went for the interception, missed. And Jack Flash had all the room to run. And again, a touchdown-saving tackle. It's 13-3. It could be a lot more with all the pressure that the Lycans have put on this Indianapolis defense in quarters number 2 and 3. Here we go. Jack, middle, touchdown, LA!
This is the 4th straight drive that Los Angeles has been on Indianapolis' side of the field. And this is the 2nd time that Logan Jack has made them pay. Absolute dynamite run here at short yardage. Logan Jack takes the handoff. Great block there by Victor Creed, number 41. And Jack waltzes into the end zone, and LA is poised to have a Hollywood ending of their own tonight.
No, Josh, Jack Wall is not on this team. This is Logan Jack. That was a bad pun, I'm sorry. Setting up for the extra point is Sid O'Lindy. And he makes it count. 20-3, and the hole is getting bigger for the Ramblers. Liking the game so far? Smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. The SFL produces over 400 events a year. There is no one else that gives you more football. Don't miss a minute of SFL or SFLM action and help the channel grow through your support. Thank you for helping the SFL reach 10 years of operation through your viewership. Rockefeller gets a block, stop and go, spin move, Rockefeller, oh, he got hauled down at the 42. He's done it so many times.
That was close.
Yeah, you just think every time he makes that first man miss, he's got a chance. And that one would have been 99 yards.
Right at the 2, has the wedge, gets a couple blocks on the left side, runs into his own guy there. And I think that was what held him up more than anything. As number 19 was Rocco McLovin, who got so excited he was getting touches. He bobbled his special teams role a little bit and ran right into Rockefeller, and that gave LA a chance to bring him down, albeit after a very large gain.
41 yards on the return, not bad, because Indianapolis needs to move the ball and start moving it pretty darn quickly.
And there you go, going right back to Ryan Roosevelt. LA giving that big cushion on the edges again. So why not get your 1,000-yard, 1,500-yard receiver back into the mix? Roosevelt, very busy guy tonight. 7 catches, second only to Banfield, who has 9.
And now with a 17-point lead, if I'm Los Angeles, I'm okay with them going to the check down there more times than not.
Oh, absolutely. You can give him underneath all day at this point. Just over a quarter of football to play.
They go to it again. Banfield turns upfield and does stretch the ball across the line to gain while being drilled by Jack Hacksaw. First tackle of the night for him.
Yeah, and he made a count. Banfield content to get the first down at least. But as we said, this is playing into the Lycans' hands. Nickel and diming was great in the first half, but now you're down by 17 points. You need to get something on the board.
Quick pass, middle for Banfield, and an 8-yard pickup as we roll down under a minute to go in the third quarter.
Let me take you back, Turillo, to that Ryan Yosef interception in the red zone as we watch Banfield make another catch. And that is a nice tackle by Tazzy Blackwell. But Yosef had that pick. Indianapolis head down the field, trying to score, looking like they're going to get the first points of the game. Ryan Yosef picks it off, gets tackled outside the end zone. The team's at the 2. And then Logan Jack and Sully Richardson march all the way down for the first touchdown of the game. And the Lycans haven't looked back since.
Christian Pierce doesn't have the strength to get by Mike Scott. And it's 3rd and 1, and that'll be the end of the third quarter.
And once again, Indy facing a 3rd and short situation. Do they go back to Christian Pierce, which worked for them the last time they did it? Or do they try and put the ball in the air at this point? I would like to see him try for something a little more aggressive and then go for it on 4th down if need be.
Well, we'll get the answer coming up shortly. End of the third. 4's up. We head to the final frame. It's the Los Angeles Lycans 20, the Indianapolis Ramblers 3, right here on Simulation Football League, presented by APM Music on YouTube. Here we go. 3rd and 1. This is huge for Indianapolis. They give it to Pierce. He fights, he scraps, he claws, he gets the first down.
He did not get about much. You see celebration, but really a little bit of relief on the face of Christian Pierce.
Big move of sticks for Indianapolis as they're approaching field goal range. Not that field goals will really matter now. They need to put the ball in the end zone, and they need to do it 3 times. But if any offense is up to the task, it's this one. Banfield bobbled it. Oh, we have seen many a bobble taken the other way. And Cameron Irvine has a game break for us. Cam, what's going on in SFL Nation?
Sioux Falls and Portland need a win, but it is Swing City back for Sioux Falls tonight. They found a weakness in that Portland defense. 30-20 Sparrows. Jason Williams, 20 catches for 140 yards in that score. Back to you in LA.
Pierce looking long, picked off. It's a trifecta for the Silver Bullets. And look who it is going the other way. Rochelle Colston down the sideline. She is out of here. Oh no. It's Garrett Hutt. It's Mike Scott with his 2nd pick of the game. Whoever it is, the Lycans are roaring at home.
I don't think the Lycans will mind too much who it is, but it is Mike Scott's 2nd pick of the game. And watch number 71. Just stop. Tackle him, my man. What are you doing? Mike Scott just going all the way back to the end zone. Return to sender. Los Angeles running away with this game.
Well, I end up with a little bit of egg on my face. I had 3 possible options, and it was the one that I didn't consider. Because I only saw the 2, and from where the ball was picked off, I thought that had to be a free safety, so it probably was Rochelle, but it was not. Anyway, Mike Scott takes the ball back for 6. His 8th interception of the season and 1st touchdown of the year.
Oh, Mike Scott taking matters into his own hands. And Colin Pierce finally deciding to unleash the dragon and got punished for it in the worst possible way. 24 points the lead now. It's 3 touchdowns and 3 2-point conversions. And you got just over 10 minutes to even try to make that happen.
Now needs a miracle, down 27-3, and it's not like they've been outplayed. Total yards 245 to 297, just the 3 interceptions. That last one going back for 6 has really turned the screws into Indianapolis tonight, and they just haven't been able to finish drives.
They haven't been able to finish drives, and they haven't been able to get big plays the way Los Angeles has. Tommy Rahman has a 40-yard catch. Jack Flash has a 42-yard catch. Logan Jack ripped off a 39-yard run. And Indianapolis has not been able to answer that.
It's a 5-yard gain on first down. And for a while, Josh, I didn't think we were going to have to bring out the banter, but it looks like we're heading towards that point.
Well, we do have a convention coming up, fortunately, which is happening, within driving distance of my home. And I am looking forward to seeing all of SFL Nation come to the tri-state area. I do feel a little disheartened that we're seeing, as Christian Pierce gets a first down, the convention is happening in northern Kentucky. You will see Cincinnati, Ohio, as you are there, but in the interest of truth and advertising, this will actually be a northern Kentucky convention because, in fact, the Cincinnati airport is in northern Kentucky.
Be Norse, though.
I don't know how you feel about that.
I mean, they've got axes,
It is
Viking
beautiful,
ships.
though. I will say, like, all of the new stuff in the last several years has been happening on the Kentucky side of the river. So we have that going for us.
Looking forward to it, as I do every year. Haven't missed a convention yet. Do not plan on missing one anytime soon. It is always the highlight of my year. So if you haven't gotten out to one, get down there. This may be the most drivable friendly convention ever.
That's absolutely true. A lot of people. We were trying to get an Ohio viewing party together for some time. And for one reason or another, it did not quite come together. But to have everybody here, it's going to be terrific.
Down goes Pierce. Dropped by Spira. And that is a misery compiler for Indianapolis. And Robert Thump has quietly had a really nice game.
There's nothing really quiet about it. He's been in the backfield so many times tonight. A TFL, had a sack earlier, as you see Gary Marks settling in. And LA's won this game in the trenches. Let's be clear about that. And Thump, a big part of that.
Pierce. This time, the zone is soft enough to find Jeff Banfield for a nice gain. Pierce 276. But again, the 3 touchdowns are really what is killing Indianapolis tonight. Or 3 interceptions, rather.
And Banfield finding a nice hole in there in that defense that obviously has a little more understanding of the state of this game, leading by 3 scores. And Los Angeles always has been a fun team to watch, and they need things to go their way. They are a desperate team for turnovers. You look at their record so far this season.
First free play for Indy of the game. They'll take the free 5 yards there. If you are a betting man, well, you've missed on both because I don't think we're going to hit the over-under. And LA has definitely broken that plus 7.5.
I'd say so. And this is a team that really just thrives on turnovers. And when they get those turnovers, they are a very tough team to beat. And really, it just has not worked out for them in that sense. 22 takeaways heading into the week. That was only 16th best in the SFL. And their turnover margin, 0. Middle of the road.
Well, it's now plus 3 at the moment. Christian Pierce looking to Roosevelt, spins back inside and gets a first down.
And if Indianapolis is able to punch this in, we could have an onside kick or 2 in our future, which is always exciting. But Indianapolis obviously will live to fight another week. And the 6 lost teams in the SFL, 2 of which are playing right now, they will live to fight another week as well.
They lived until tomorrow.
Until tomorrow.
They're going to have another hot seat in tomorrow's game. We'll get to that in a moment. APM Music is unrivaled music to bring your stories to life, inspiring every production with the world's most robust and constantly refreshed music collection, state-of-the-art technology, and world-class customer service. APM Music is the official soundtrack of the Simulation Football League. To explore their library and to find the perfect tracks for your projects, visit apmmusic.com. Indianapolis into the red zone. They've been here once already today, had the ball intercepted in the end zone on that very strange play, Josh, that it was intercepted and then Ryan Yosef got pushed out of the end zone. They spotted the ball at the 2.
Yeah, and I really thought that he was going to get an opportunity to declare himself down, and that did not happen. But really a heads-up play by LA's Chris Lee. Or no, excuse me, by Ryan Roosevelt for Indianapolis to get him out of the end zone. And you thought that LA being in the shadow of their own goalpost that they might falter, but they ran some short yardage plays, and that was what they needed to get Logan Jack going. And then 98 yards later, they're punching in Logan Jack's first touchdown of the game. He has 2 now. And if we're picking player of the games, then why not right now? Logan Jack would get my first vote.
I think he is on my vote as well. Although Mike Scott with the 2 interceptions is up there for me, too.
Absolutely.
Just crossing 6 minutes to go. 4th and 1, Indianapolis lined up to go for it.
Crowd still in it.
And it's going to be a hard count. They're not going to snap the ball, and that may be a white flag from Indianapolis here in this contest.
That's a surprise. I think you're going to sacrifice the timeout. You're going to decline to just go for it right away. You don't have a play ready. 4th and 1. We've seen it convert on 3rd and 1. That is just a surprise to pack it in with not quite 6 minutes left on the clock. And to kick a field goal here, really a stunner.
Next week, Indianapolis has Tulsa in now a game that can determine Indianapolis's playoff future. Kick by Kiefer, up and good. He has all 6 of the Ramblers' points tonight. On the other hand, the Lycans will be on the road against Seattle in a game that is only for pride, as the Vancouver Legion, with a win over Jacksonville today, wrapped up their 5th conference title.
Congratulations to Vancouver and that franchise. They always seem to be firing on all cylinders. And Andy Hamilton, putting more time into that franchise just at the right moment as they're about to hit their stretch run.
And they've always really kind of had reign over the Pacific Division ever since the Pacific's been a thing.
Yes, they have. And I don't see that changing anytime soon, as I bump my boom here again for like the 9th time tonight. Apologies. But that is, it is remarkable when you're a team like Vancouver or even like Baltimore. And I know Baltimore's lost twice this season. But when you could do it week in and week out with so many variables in play, as we've seen here tonight in this league, it's just that much more impressive. And to get the division title again, hats off to them and to that team.
I see Rochelle Colston in the chat say, hello, what happened? What happened is the defense has played out of its mind. 3 interceptions on the game. You've held Indianapolis to just 2 field goals. The offense has done enough. Logan Jack, 2 touchdowns on the night, and a pick 6 from Mike Scott to round off the scoring.
And Sully Richardson, as he's throwing here, done a nice job taking care of the ball. I know he's not thrown a lot tonight. That was only his 20th pass, as Elsie Pryor finally gets his first catch of the game. No interceptions. And that's all you can ask for your quarterback. I thought Richardson played a smart game. He's found open receivers when they were floating free of the defense. And he's taken a couple of shots downfield and rewarded for it. It's been a great game from Sully Richardson.
But when your rushing game is as dominant as the Lycans was in the middle innings, so to speak, the 2nd and 3rd quarter, you don't really have to throw that much.
No, you don't. You really just need to keep them honest, like you said. They almost use the pass to establish the run. When you think about it that way. And Jack, when he was getting big blocks from not only his offensive line, but also from Victor Creed, the fullback, and the tight ends as well. Chris Lee gets some blocks downfield for Logan Jack. It's easier to rip off big runs when everybody's winning the blocking game up front.
Speaking of winning the blocking game up front, Logan Jack gets another 6 yards. This Impact Monday is wild. Week 13 concludes with a must-win game. Both the 6-4 San Diego Mavericks and the 5-5 DC Dragons are looking to #make an impact. and capitalize on some of the mistakes made by other teams around them. It all starts with this week in the SFL pregame at 7:15 p.m. Eastern Time with kickoff at 8:15 on the SFL, presented by APM Music on YouTube. Another strong side handoff for Logan. Jackie gets another block. He spins twice back to the inside, and he's wrapped up by Chris Britton. The clock continues to run. Josh, on this read, I'm not sure if you have the reads pulled up because you're not doing play-by-play tonight, but it says Impact Monday, parentheses, or the Cam and Paul Monday Night Spectacular, on parentheses. I think that may be a Mike Dagg special.
Yes, that is clearly a reference to the broadcast meeting because Daggs insists on calling it the Monday Night Spectacular. A name that for some reason Cam has grown to loathe, if I understand that correctly. But I think it's fine. It is a spectacular. You want to put some salesmanship into the game, especially on a Monday night. And now Cam is saying that's not true. Well, I'm not totally convinced, and I reserve the right to be somewhat skeptical of that claim.
Approach the 2-minute warning. Jack goes backwards for 3 yards. Not included in the read is the fact that if San Diego wins, then all 6 loss and higher teams are eliminated from the playoff race, just like if Indianapolis had won this evening. So if you're 6-6 or aiming to be 6-6 and looking to sneak in on the back end, or even maybe 7-5, because there is a situation where there will be no 7-5 teams in the playoffs. You're looking for a DC win tomorrow.
Well, speaking of 7-5, with Indy playing Tulsa next week, it wasn't that long ago when Tulsa went 7-5 and did not qualify for the playoffs. You know,
First
when you
time
have
in SFL history.
When you have 12 teams and you have 7 divisions, or you have 12 teams qualifying, I mean, it gets a little squirrely up there. That's like it's like a very VIP party. You got to get behind that velvet rope any way you can.
2-minute warning. It's Los Angeles' night out in LA at Fulton Coliseum tonight, as the Lycans lead this one 27-6 in a result, I will say, Josh, that not a lot of people, including us, saw coming.
Well, we talked about it before the game, and obviously we were fans of Indianapolis's passing attack. Los Angeles was not a team that I was willing to slough off at any point, really. I mean, this is a team that, put some good performances together earlier in the season. They had their second biggest win in franchise history just a couple weeks ago against Jacksonville. They just needed some things to break their way here. And when you have Colin Pierce going up against this Lycans secondary, and we saw it in the first quarter, Torillo, where he was just testing everybody, whether it was Rochelle Colston, whether it was Mike Scott or Ryan Yosef. And he got away with a couple of those. And then third time was a charm. Mike Scott picked him off, and then Yosef got him, and then Scott ran one back. And those are clearly the difference in this game.
And you felt that once the first interception went the way of Los Angeles, it kind of cascaded from there. But we were talking in our pregame meeting, Josh, and I said the way Los Angeles wins this game is the same way that Carolina won the Baltimore game last week, with interceptions and with controlling time of possession, and that's exactly what they've done.
Absolutely, and it's a winning recipe across the board. The turnovers, they do happen, but they don't always happen when you need them to happen. And I think that Indianapolis, as they rip off a big play here with Ryan Roosevelt, I think Indianapolis got a little too conservative coming out in the second half. They had a punt, and they went 3 and out. And then when they finally did decide to unleash the dragon, Mike Scott was there, and he took it back to the house.
The middle for 25 yards. That one goes to Ryan Roosevelt. The stats for Indianapolis have really fallen off a cliff, as you would expect. Banfield, a nice day. 12 receptions for 106 yards. Roosevelt up to 87 yards on 11 catches. Other than that, just 1 catch for Viper, 1 for Pierce, 2 for Rob Hunt, and 7 for Christian Pierce.
And what do you expect Indianapolis to do now with potentially their playoff livelihood on the line going into a game against Tulsa?
And incomplete. Looks like the backups are in. Brock Lesbo, backup linebacker, had a hand on that one.
And I think Indianapolis just kind of painted themselves into a corner here with the way that they came out in the second half, getting a little too conservative, and then only undoing that when it was finally too late. Christian Pierce got a lot more volume, than only 10 carries, but did have 7 catches.
3rd and inches, and they go for the tight end. Slant to Randy Pierce, I believe. Another quick pass to Christian Pierce, and he's got nowhere to go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There were 7 defenders there to meet him after he turned upfield. Late set for Randy Pierce on the line over the middle, caught inside the 20, under a minute to go. And Indianapolis just trying to punch it into the end zone for some style points at the end against the LA backups.
Yeah, and style matters, especially here in Southern California. Let's not overlook that. I think if you're Tulsa and you're watching this game, you got to feel good about what you might be seeing. That this is a team that if you can take away the passing attack, like they do not have much to fall back on. And we did see a lot of Christian Pierce, but that is not a situation where you're going to come back from a 2-score or a 3-score deficit, just running the 5 and outs and not taking chances downfield.
Well, I think Indianapolis does have to be very concerned because Los Angeles just served the recipe to beat Indianapolis up on a silver platter to anybody who cares to take it, be that Tulsa next week or any team they may face in a wild card playoff game.
Absolutely. And Indianapolis, at the rate they're going, Colin Pierce closing in on 350 yards. And that passing yardage title, I think, is still in the bag. Passing touchdowns, though, Colin Pierce having a goose egg in this game, and that might be up for grabs come week 14.
30 seconds left, 4th and 7. This will be the end of the ball game. It's not converted. Banfield stays in bounds, but can't get there. And guess who? Mike Scott closes the door, turns the engine off, and heads inside.
Just great play by Mike Scott. He deserves player of the game consideration, absolutely. And if it wasn't such a quarterback heavy or running back heavy award, I think he'd have a real shot at it. 2 interceptions, obviously has a defensive touchdown, 6 tackles, 1 tackle for loss. You could not ask for a better game out of your cornerback than you got out of Mike Scott tonight. Here come the knees, and here come the GGs.
1 kneel down, the GGs are out, and Los Angeles has picked up their 3rd win of the season. They'll have a chance to better their season 19 record, which was 3-9, next week against Seattle. And for Indianapolis, this is their first back-to-back losses since week 4 and 5 against Louisiana and Minnesota. The Ramblers had not lost to a team under 500 all season. Well, now that stat is no longer true. What a game for the Los Angeles Lycans as they win this one 27-6 in dominating fashion.
Very inspiring performance by the Lycans. Had a little rust coming out of the gate with the offensive line, but once that came together, it was this man, Logan Jack, that took over and stole the show. Over 140 yards rushing, 4 receptions as well, but the 2 touchdowns, 1 in the first half, 1 in the second half, really helped open the door. And that man, Sully Richardson, threw some absolute dimes in this game. Jack Flash getting loose there. And Kanye Rockefeller made so many touchdown-saving tackles in this game. As you mentioned earlier, Terrell, this score could have been a lot more lopsided. Mike Scott going all the way to the house, and that was really what sealed the deal for LA on their way to the 3rd win of this season 20.
Sully Richardson, 16 of 22, 181 yards. No touchdowns, but no interceptions. And for a team that has been plagued with interception trouble in the past, putting a goose egg in that column, really important for them.
Yeah, it really is. And it just comes down to the turnover margin. And LA, well, any football team really, is sensitive to the turnover margin, probably none more so than the Los Angeles Lycans.
A big shock in the land of the Stars tonight. The Star is Logan Jack, 146 yards, 2 touchdowns for him. That'll wrap it up from Full Moon Coliseum here in the great city of Los Angeles. For Greg the Cuban Missile Soto and Ron Haynes on stats, Cameron Irvine, our production engineer as usual, and Josh Circle, my broadcast partner tonight. We got to do this more often, Josh. It's always a blast calling games with you. Thank you so much for watching, and have a fantastic rest of your evening.